Check, check. Check, check. Check 1, 2. Welcome to the third episode. Can you believe it? It's like we have made more videos in the last 3 weeks than we have made in the last 5 years. Got to figure out the mic situation, but it's Sunday evening and I'm on my way to pick up some Chinese food in the Sawtelle neighborhood. Now I'm picking up Chinese food. I'm also picking up a little popcorn chicken. I'm picking up a boba order. Like we're doing everything today. Oops, sorry about that. So you might be wondering, like, you're gonna do all that on a bike. Well, the reason I'm gonna do all that on a bike, which made me think it'd be a good opportunity to do an episode, is you know, for anyone in LA who's been to the Sawtelle area, it's pretty difficult. It's a pretty hard place to, you know, go about parking and traffic. So we just fixed my mic situation. Like, I don't know if I ever intended for this to be a weekly video series, but you know, after the first one and the second one, I just felt like I had the momentum, and I said, hey, I'm just gonna, as long as this is fun, productive, helping me discern what means to me, I will do it often. So we're gonna cross the train tracks here while we wait for the train to cross. So yeah, it turned into, so far I've been able to knock them out every week. And it's really cool because like every week there's been something, well, I mean, this is only the third week, but the rate of improvement has been really cool. Just knowing that this is not going to be the last video I'm going to make. I don't have to put so much into, you know, like with the year-end recaps, like it just felt like, oh man, this is like, am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it? If I do it, what's going to be the style this year? How am I going to, you know, make it memorable? And what's really cool about this project is that I don't got to worry about all that pressure. I could just make a video next week, learn from anything that I want to change, and go from there. So I want to give a shout out to everyone who's reached out again this past week. It's been actually really cool to connect with, you know, some old friends and contacts, particularly on YouTube. So Armand, it's so awesome to hear from you after my last video. Paulo, love the reach out. My cousin Paulo is making sure I'm being safe on the streets, telling me that all these cars are making him nervous, but I want to assure you guys that I got some good confidence on the streets. I know where to go, where not to go, and I'm just glad that you're tuning in. I do want to talk about one thing today on the show, and you know, we are now in the first week of summer vacation, meaning last week was the final day of TK for Sasha, and you know, we're now really in full swing in terms of from here until the start of kindergarten. You know, we've got summer camps, we've got vacations, we've got days where we got to figure out what are we gonna do, just to keep Sasha engaged and, one of the things that I've noticed is that summertime, there's a big push from the libraries when it comes to summer reading programs. Like, it's a big thing. Like, you sign up for a summer reading program, there's all these incentives to read, to log minutes, to come, to events at the library. And, it's at all the libraries. It's at, LA County, Santa Monica, Los Angeles Public. And so I thought that was pretty cool. And so I started digging into it more, and I learned a couple of things. The first is that literacy in LA County is actually a big issue, in which I read the other night that upwards of 35%, I think, 35% of working age adults in LA County are below a basic literacy level. And the rates, while slightly are improving, the rates for K through 8 students in LA are not great either. I think last night I was doing research on this because I wanted to talk about it on this episode today. Apparently it's like 45% of LA students in K through 8 are meeting a proficient level of literacy and reading. And I thought that was super surprising. And to add to that, we're just going to cross the pulpit here. To add to that astonishing number, there is a lot of concern, or I guess generalized concern, among parents that the amount of regression that happens in between the school years, meaning the summer vacations, are not to the advantage of students in the public school system in Los Angeles. And that just and so that led to the reasoning behind what I believe is all of this strong promotion for summer reading programs, incentivizing families to spend the time reading with your children, taking them to the library, developing a love for reading so that they could retain as much as they can over the summer and start the new school year fresh. We're going to cross Sawtelle Boulevard here, just make sure we're safe. I want to say, we're biking today on a Sunday afternoon, and the driving patterns, culture, traffic, very different. You just kind of have to feel out, who's driving on the weekends. Many people are just passing through. They're not from here. It's very different from when you are riding on a weekday morning. You sort of feel that everyone is, on their commute. They know they go through this road every day. You go through this road every day. So you always have to just be a little more vigilant when riding on the weekend. All right, we're here at Corinth Avenue, which is a street that's going to be taking us into the Sawtelle neighborhood. We're going to wait for this light to turn green for us. This is Pico Boulevard. This is sort of the way into Sawtelle without having to take major streets. So yeah, back to my point about summer reading programs. I got super motivated, just because as a parent of very young school-aged children, I was surprised and disheartened to know that that is an issue in the community that we live in. And, I personally do not want to hold my own child back from developing a love for reading, from developing the ability to read. And so I'm speaking about it today because we're now crossing Pico Boulevard. We're gonna actually do a second cross here. All right. I'm speaking openly about this because, I think as I think about, this will lead me into my next topic. As I think about what do I want to experience this summer, after I learned about what is going on with kids in LA, or what could be going on with kids in LA if you're not proactive. I'm talking about the regression, I'm talking about, the loss of time in learning and reading. I, kind of making it a point to read as much as I can to and with my kids. I personally love reading. I love being able to pick up a new book to finish. And so one of the things I'm going to do this summer, and maybe I'll talk about it here, maybe I'll talk about it with fellow parents, is just work on that. The guidance is that as little as 10 minutes a day during summer break can do a lot for your kids while they're on break. The Santa Monica Public Library has a challenge out there that started this past Saturday. We're now crossing Olympic Boulevard here. The challenge is that between now and I think the end of summer, sometime in August, whoever can log upwards of 1,200 minutes reading will be entered for several kinds of different prizes and whatnot. So, for me, obviously it's not about the prizes. It's just this inherent awareness, knowing that there's a lot at stake during the summer. And I'm kind of learning that as a parent. It's really interesting. All right, so, almost hit a speed bump or a little bump in the road right there. All right, we're entering the Sawtelle neighborhood now. See, for anyone who is familiar with the area, we're now on Mississippi and Corinth. As you can see, this is sort of the back way. This is the neighborhood. In college, we used to come here all the time, but you can't park on the street if you don't have a special permit. So it's actually quite difficult to find parking in like any of the parking lots like over here or on the street. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pick up the popcorn chicken. We're gonna enter here. The popcorn chicken today is from Volcano Tea. Look at this Mercedes right here. It's like all kinds of people eat here in Sawtelle. I'm just gonna sneak behind this motorcycle. I'm just gonna walk in real quick, get the order. Hello.
Hello.
Do you have an order ready for Angelo? Last name Ignacio.
Here you go.
Thank you. Mercedes guy is still here. It's a pretty cool car. Okay, next stop we're going is Don Noodle. Or not Don Noodle, Don Modern Chinese. But yeah, that's what I'm up to. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Let me know what you guys think. If you're a fellow parent, what are you doing about the big summer regression? If you're into books, what do you think about the summer reading programs? And just in general, what are you all looking forward to this summer? What kind of things do you want to experience? Whether if it's with kids or no kids, you know, I'd love to know. But yeah, thanks for riding with me, and I'll see you guys next week. All right, just kidding. I figured my microphone's still going on, and I still got one more stop. All right, so the next and final stop is Odd One Out. We're on Sawtelle Boulevard, literally on the boulevard right now, heading towards Olympic. I'm gonna pull into this plaza. For all my Zetas, my Chi Deltas, Kappas, anyone who was in Greek. I don't know if y'all remember this place, but I'm here at the Olympic Collection. It's where we had all our formals at. All right, let me run in here real quick. Last final stop. Hi, Angelo? Angelo? Angelo. Oh, I'm sorry, Lee Zell. Zell? Lee Zell. Lee Zell, yeah. Thank you so much. I. Okay, now we're really gonna end the video because I'm about to put the drinks in the basket. Now you guys can't see anything. So peace out.